Ladies and gentlemen, let's get rid of those for a second. Welcome in. My name's Andy Owen, and this is Moose Racing League. Let's turn the lights up. Moose Racing League, and tonight it's Tier 2, and we head off to Abu Dhabi for the next round of our championship. It's round number 8. And we have a championship battle on our hands, you'll be glad to hear. It's lights out very shortly. I say lights out, it'll be qualification very shortly. And then, of course, it'll be lights out. It'll be good to see how our intrepid pacey drivers tackle this circuit. I did say there was a drivers' championship up for grabs. And there is. As you can see, the top 5... they are separated by 27 points. We've got Major Castleman, who leads the way right now. Mintoki, 15 points behind. Sketchy Bull, now 26 points behind. And he's tied with Freddie Rosell in the Red Bull. Gwenfro on 76 points, only 27 points behind the leader. We have got rounds 8, 9, and 10 left to go before we crown our Tier 2 champion. What does that mean, though, I hear you ask? For the constructors' standings, well, let's find that out right now. Alpine lead the way. Alpine on 180 points. They lost 20 points of that lead last week, though, as Red Bull had an outstanding performance. They've narrowed that constructors' title down to a gap of 37 points. It's then a further 37 points back to Mercedes, who currently sit up in third. They gained a position last week over McLaren, who didn't have themselves a great week, only picking up 6 points. So that 6 points means that they are in 4th position, 81 points from the top of the standings. Qualification has just started, by the way. But before we get underway with the qualification, let's take a quick look at this track map then. Abu Dhabi, 5.2 kilometres, 3.2 miles, and 16 turns. 2 DRS zones, of course. One of them incredibly powerful just before the chicane at turns 6 and 7. Not a great deal of elevation, but as you go through turns 2, 3, and 4, you can get a little bit out of shape there. I have previously spun out and ended up in the pit lane and been disqualified. That is your news for this evening. And my disastrous. Let's just make sure we'll have to reset the... Of course we will. Reset the capture card. Nothing like a little bit of preparation for our Sunday night. And we've got cars out on the track already. 16 minutes of this session remaining, of course. And it looks like the first car we've got out is either Mr. Titan. It is Mr. Titan. And he will be the first car to set a lap. Major Castleman on a set of mediums, by the look of it, in this qualification session. But let's just see how Mr. Titan gets on then. In this on this track. I think we'll jump on board. Down towards this hairpin. It's a 17.6 in that first sector. This is where the DRS is incredibly powerful. The wing will be wide open on the rear of that kick Sauber. All the way down this really powerful section. Down to a very, very slow, as it gets narrower, down to this chicane, of course, where we saw a little bit of drama at the beginning of the IRL race today. And then we got DRS yet again, wing wide open, of course. This is the second and final DRS zone of the lap. And we get down, you'll go wide out to the right to try and scoop in on the inside here, taking plenty of curb before you feature back out to the right-hand side, keeping relatively tight until you get through this flat right. And then, of course, down into hotel section. The off-camber corner here. 2 90-degree turns, and then it's the final run down to the final 2 turns. Again, flat out round there, but then braking hard into this. Lots of off-camber corners here. Mr. Titan will set the first time, and it'll be a 123.4 for the kick Sauber. I think we might have an Alpine coming through next. Is that Mr. Castleman? It is Mr. Castleman. So a 123.4. Cutting right across there. That looks like a tidy lap. 123 flat on the medium tyres then. Next news, we have got a Red Bull. That will be... it was Rich Sebi. Rich Sebi with a 123.4. 400s quicker as he goes deep into turn 1. But City of R in the Mercedes. Best that time with a 22.8. And Angry Shadow with a 22.9. Angry Shadow reserving up tonight, I believe, from Tier 3. Or am I getting that completely wrong? And he was here all the time. Sketchy Bull, is it? No, Fake Mano. Black Baller. Oh, Black Baller's just about to start a lap. So let's go on board with Black Baller then. 90-degree right-hand turn. And then we've got this flat-out section where this is where you can lose the rear end if you've not got a great setup on. And you can also get a bad time there. Freddie Rozelle, after a good result last week, goes into provisional pole with a 22.4. Getting out of shape is Black Baller. Black Baller's been relatively unfortunate. Owen, good evening. How you doing? Bouncy, how you doing? I've no one to get me in Bouncy. Okay, quali bound for me, by the way. Quali bound for Fatweed. Let's see if we can get you in then, Bouncy. If you're not in the list, my friend, I'll have to search for you for quite a while. So let's hope I can see you pretty easy. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I remember you. Of course I remember you, Owen. Sketchy Bull goes fastest with a 22.3. 1/10 quicker than Freddie Rozelle. Gwenfro's on an outlap. Black Baller then still in good shape. As I was saying, Black Baller's been relatively unlucky. Got caught up in a few incidents this season. He's going to set a relatively slow time here with the 24 flat. Gwenfro's on a lap. Let's check in with Gwenfro then. He's just started. Yeah, no worries. It has been a long time, Itzy. I hope you're doing very well, though, mate. I like calling you Owen, though. Yuki, how you doing, my friend? Yuki, this is a league race for Moose Racing League. You can join Moose Racing League if you like. We race every Sunday. There's 5 tiers. I'll try and find you an invite if I can. I'll have to see if somebody else can do it for us, my friend. Yeah, of course I'll call you Owen. Of course. Anyway, these yellow flags waving around in Sector 3. I don't know what it was for. We've missed it. He misses the Latifi corner. The famous Latifi corner. Here comes Gwenfro then. Currently sat P4 in the championship. The race down towards the line then to set a 22.7 and get himself onto the second row alongside his teammate, City of R. Who else have we got? Fatweed with the quali ban. Here comes Fake Mano about to set himself up for a lap. 70%. He might have to come into the pits here. He's only got 70% battery. But he's actually going to get himself. He's going to get himself a time on the board. Oh, good, Owen. Good. Glad to hear it, my friend. Oh, round goes Fake Mano then. Not a great start to proceedings for him. And he's got to be careful here. Oh, it's okay. 2 cars coming out of the pit lane. Yuki, I'll try and find you an invite, but I'm struggling at the minute. For some reason, I don't seem to have... Oh, there we go. There you go, Yuki. Welcome in. So we've got 5 tiers racing all across Sunday evening. This is tier 2. So far we've had tiers 5, 4 and 3. So Fake Mano's lap's ruined. Let's jump on board with Moo Bouncy then. Moo Bouncy late to the party tonight, but in nonetheless. We do have 16 drivers in now. Down towards this tight hairpin. Manages to navigate it relatively well. Seems to have a little bit of a problem with steering input there, but the DRS wing wide open, of course, all the way down this long straight. Down towards this chicane then. At turn 6 and 7. As you see, the track doesn't actually get narrower. I was lying. It doesn't get narrower. It just switches ever so slightly from right to left. But this is the second DRS zone then. This one not quite as powerful as the first, but some people do choose to make the overpass or the overtake on this DRS section rather than the first one. Because if you make it on the first one, you might get overtaken on the second one, which undoes all your hard work. You need to be in the Discord channel, Yuki, yeah. But that's okay. You can get Discord across either your console or PC or phone even. Move Bouncy goes through that off-camber hotel section, then past Latifi corner into the final turn, and it's now a drag race to the line. Keeps it valid and sets a 23.5. Who else do we have out on a lap then? City of R is the next driver, I believe. No, we've got a Haas. Where's the Haas? Is that KDM? KDM might have set a lap. Yeah, KDM's looking like he set a lap rather than... he's only 9 thousandths down, actually, so maybe he is going to make a run. No, he's going to dive into the pit lane. Yeah, if you don't have... I'm afraid if you've not got Discord, Yuki, you'll be unfortunate, my friend. Ooh, sideways movement there for the Ferrari of KDM. Reserving up tonight for Punji. And into the pit lane comes KDM. Here comes City of R. 1/10 to the good, so might improve above his teammate here. Up into third. He doesn't. He lost a little bit of time there in Sector 3. Does improve, but only goes within 700 to City of R. Which is a shame. Rich Sebi looks like he's out on another run. No, he's not. That's he's just regaining his composure, let's say. Black Baller. Here's Black Baller then. He's in front of his teammate now. It looks like he might have got himself a tow from Fake Mano, and he's all out of shape. Maybe he was giving Fake Mano a tow. No, he wasn't, because Fake Mano's on an outlap. So, mistakes aplenty then for the Red Bull racing team tonight, the V-Carbs. Who else have we got? Sketchy's on another run. Sketchy just about to start his lap. Well, he started his lap down towards that thing. 400s quicker in Sector 1. 6.5 minutes remaining then. This is Moose Racing League, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 2. Around Abu Dhabi, this is round number 8 of a 10-race season. As Freddie Rozelle goes 500s quicker than Sketchy Bull. But Sketchy Bull in a good position right now as the track begins to evolve. Over the course of the first 12 minutes of this session, seem to take the chicane relatively well there. He's hooking a tight line down the inside, but then switches to the outside, of course, where the red and white curbs are, to get a good angle into this long, long left-hander, the turn that never ends. Doesn't go too far out wide initially, but then swings back across, touching both red curbs, then the inside and the outside into the off-cambers. Keeps it just about legal. And that is not legal. That is an invalidated lap by Sketchy Bull, which is unfortunate because it felt like a pretty good lap for the Alpine man. It was a good lap because even though he slowed down there, he only lost a few tenths. Major Castleman's gone out on the soft tyre. So Major Castleman on the soft tyre then. He's just about to start his lap. He's actually not deploying any ERS right now. So he's just going to do himself one more... Just my user on YouTube. I didn't get an invite. The invite's on the Discord link, my friend. So you have to be part of the league on Discord, because that's where all the chat is. That's where all the leagues are. That's where all the divisions are, so that you can communicate with your team principal. So North American Run League. Sorry, bro. Right, then how's Major Castleman getting on? There is yellow flag in sector number 3, and that is for a Kick Sauber. Probably just going into the pit lane. Here comes Major Castleman, and he's a lot slower, so he'll just be starting his run. He won't be starting his run now. He's going to start another slow run. So Fake Mano, whilst we were looking there at Major Castleman, Fake Mano has moved himself up into P3. Sketchy Bull dives into the pit lane. So 4 minutes left of the qualification session. Then the other driver out on track at the moment on a quali lap. Looks like he's Moo Bouncy. He's just got himself through Sector 1 round the hairpin, down that long straight towards the chicane with the DRS wing wide open at the back. Let's see how he tackles this chicane. Down in third gear, gets a tiny little bit out of shape, but again, he's going to hug this green strip pretty much all the way down on this left-hand side before, when you can see the far corner, you swing across to the right like so, and then you're in. Deep dive, a lot of front end on this Aston Martin then, swinging right out to the left, keeping it narrow here and then out to the left again. Seems to have taken that pretty well. I would imagine this is an improvement for Bouncy. Has to have a lift ever there so slightly. Got a bit out of shape coming through Latifi corner. And now it's the long drag to the line. Just about keeps that valid and takes 3.5 tenths off his time up into P9. Gwenfro then 200 slower through Sector 1. He'll be looking to improve. Going to get himself a tow from his teammate though all the way down this straight. How strong will this be? It doesn't look like City of Ours punching too much of a hole through the air. Felt like he was a bit too far away and then was going a bit too slow. But nice to see them working together. A little bit of a mistake going into the chicane though there for the Mercedes of Gwenfro. And he's a lot slower. He's 1.7 tenths down in this run. Can he make an improvement in the final sector, though? Because he is running out of time, running out of battery, and running out of fuel. 2 minutes to go. He'll get an opportunity to do one slow lap. And now he'll have to take the opportunity because he's lost more time. So 1 minute 52, he's going to be able to buy himself 30 seconds and recharge that battery. Meanwhile, Bouncy's invalidated. He has had enough. He's done. Oh, and he's lost it going into the pits. Lost it going into the pits. City of Ours on a lap now. After trying to help his teammate. We do have yellow flags. It's for a slow Alpine, I think. Yeah, slow Alpine in the background there. We're not going to see how well City of R is doing, currently sat in P6, until we get down towards the end of this second DRS zone. He is going to get a tow though. Punching a hole in the air is the Mercedes of Gwenfro. Swings out back to the right-hand side again and tight on the inside of the long left-hander. Now, is this car going to get out of the way? It is. Well done, whoever that is. In the V-carb. I missed the split, so apologies for that. Keeps the lap valid then as we enter the penultimate corner. Move Bouncy retires from the session. Here comes City of R then. Has he improved enough to get himself up onto that front row? He has not, but he has on the second row. Is the Mercedes of Gwenfro? No, the Mercedes of Gwenfro's given it in. Right then, let's see what we have got. We've got a Red Bull. Is it? No, it's going to be Sebi. Rich Sebi then is the next car. And then we've got two Kick Saubers. So we've got to try and remember the order they're in. We've got two Kick Saubers following this Red Bull. We've then got a V-carb, a Ferrari, and the other Red Bull of Freddie Rozelle. Freddie Rozelle currently on pole. Alpine in there, yellow flags. Oh, just about keeps it valid, Sebi. What's he got to post, though? Can he get himself up, challenging the front? Is the track evolution helping him out? Then he seems to tackle the final corner well, and he's up into P8. We've then got the Kick Saubers. What order are they going in? It was Happy first, Mr. Titan second, and they finish 11th and 12th. Ferrari, Sharky, is it crossing the line? Sharky goes up to P10. Sketchy Bull coming into the final part of the track. Jason, good evening. I hope you're doing very well, sir. Round the final turn, Sketchy Bull. Can he get himself on pole, or will he have to settle for second? He will! By a considerable margin, almost a tenth and a half. Fake Mano, the race to the line. He was doing well as well. Gets himself up onto the front row. Freddie Rizal can't improve. City of R won't improve. Here comes Major Castleman, though. Can he steal it? On the line. No, he can't. He will have to finish in P5 on the grid for this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's going to be Sketchy Bull and Alpine, the leaders of the championship in the terms of the constructors, that will sit on pole. Fake Mano will be 600ths further back. It's pretty tight there. 1 second covering the top 10 drivers. That is a pretty good qualification session there. Certainly for Alpine. Alpine will be delighted in P1 and P5. Mercedes will be happy in P4 and 6. Red Bull 3 and 7. Only one Williams car in tonight. Only one Ferrari in tonight. And of course, J-Joe and Fatweed had that quali ban to contend with. But Sketchy Bull in the Alpine will be on pole. There it is. Here we go. Let's run through those classifications then. It is Sketchy Bull on pole. Joining him on the front row is Fake Mano in the V-Carb. Then Red Bulls, Freddie Rizal, City of R in the Mercedes, and Alpine's Major Castleman in P5. Joining Major Castleman on the third row is Gwenfro in the Mercedes with Red Bull's Rich Sebi in P7, Angry Shadow in the Williams P8, P9 is the Aston Martin of Moo Bouncy, Sharky in the Ferrari in P10, P11 it's KDM in the Haas, then the two Kick Saubers flying in formation in 12 and 13, 14 it's Black Baller, 15 J-Joe, and 16 Fatweed. We don't have too much of a break in between qualification and the race here at Moose, because we do run all the races, all the tiers back-to-back on a Sunday night. Tier 5, 4, 3, this being 2, and then 1 will be at 11 p.m. BST or 6 p.m. EST on the Moose Racing League channel. Unsurprisingly, the weather looks reasonable. Don't appear to be having any rain. And this, of course, is when all our drivers will be putting on their setups, ready to tackle the track at Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina. And it's not long until lights out. It's not long until showtime. Here we go then. The lights are on, and now the lights are out, and it's showtime. Tuesday, Tier 2 showtime at Abu Dhabi, and it is indeed. Oh, we've got an Oscar Piastri moment then, and that is, I don't know who that was going round, but Sketchy Bull does retain the lead of the race. He's got a bit of Lando around him, and it's Gwenfro who's out, retired from the session, and that's a virtual safety car straight off the rip. The Mercedes of Gwenfro, he'll be so disappointed with that start, out on the first lap of this race. I don't see an actual safety car out. No safety car out just yet, but that's a terrible start for Mercedes tonight, and they'll be losing more ground in this battle for the Constructors' title, and Gwenfro, currently sat in P3 in the Drivers' Championship, will obviously lose out tonight quite sufficiently. Here we go, then it's Sketchy Bull, Freddie Rizal in the Red Bull, Fake Mano in P3. Let's just take a quick look at the tyre situation. A whole host of medium runners, and then we've got Sketchy, Sharky, Fatweed, Black Baller, and KDM on the hard tyre. Let's just take a quick look at position changes then. Who's the big losers and winners? It looked like Gwenfro was the car that got caught up in the accident right at the very beginning. Not just because he's out of the race, but he dropped 10 positions as well. KDM down 4, down 5 for City of R. So a bad start for the Mercedes team as we get racing again. Down 1 for Fake Mano as Freddie Rizal has got himself up into P2. And into the pit lane comes Titan and KDM and Black Baller, all getting caught up in something at the beginning of this race then, having to replace wings, no doubt. But we won't move away from this action at the front. Sharky's dropped outside of DRS range, by the way. So DRS should be available and is available, of course. You don't have to wait a lap after a virtual safety car, only after a normal safety car. Freddie Rozelle looks like he's going to make a move. Yes, he is. And then Sketchy Bull swings in behind him on the run down towards the chicane. New Bouncy did take advantage of DRS over Sharky. Sharky may well battle back here alongside the Mercedes. Round the outside goes the Mercedes. Can he make the move stick, though? That's the question. He is on the inside for the next corner. A bit of contact between the two. Contact between the Mercedes and Aston Martin then down towards the hotel section. And this real difficult set of corners. This is where you can get track warnings, and there may well be one or two there as we see the kick Sauber of Happy get a little bit out of shape going through there. Freddie Rozelle sets one of the first fastest laps of the race with a 1:24.8. See how some of these other guys are getting on. Sharky Happy. Fatweed, again, on the hard tyre. 2 seconds. He's going to come under pressure from J-Joe. J-Joe, a driver who has had some good qualification form in Moose Racing League over the seasons that we've run, but unable to qualify tonight. And neither was Fatweed. So both of those guys are up multiple positions then from the start because everybody else has had to jump into the pit lane, as you can see by that 28-second gap back to Mr. Titan in the kick Sauber. Out in front, Fake Manor loses another position, gets very close to the rear wing of Major Castleman. The two Alpines then flying in formation now in Sketchy Bull and Major Castleman, the championship leader. DRS not doing too much of a job, though, down here as Major Castleman actually sets a purple middle sector there. That's so unfortunate, Gwenfro. Did you get clipped? Was it an Oscar Piastri moment at turn 1? Or did you end up running into that car? I didn't see who spun. So Freddie Rozelle then, lap 3, end of lap 3 now, just about to start lap 4 of this 29 race around Abu Dhabi. And then we'll have the party, of course, the Abu Dhabi do. And there'll be lots of people who will be Abu Dhabi don't. Don't drink too much. Well, Freddie Rozelle leads us away then. This is the highest point of the track then as we go up through turn 4. Down towards the hairpin at turn 5. And these 6 leading cars have broken away then as Bouncy and City of R. City of R, good move from the... I thought it was a good move. City of R does actually maintain that position. He's on the inside and he does have DRS. Doing a little bit of weaving, trying to get himself broken from the toe. As Sharky goes through on Move Bouncy as well. Bouncy had moved over to the left there to try and break a toe. Are we going to see more moves out in front of here, though? Freddie Rozelle getting very close to the back of Sketchy Bull. Sketchy Bull had got himself through at the previous DRS zone. See this from this camera angle here, the different lines that some of the guys are taking as they concertina up then into the hotel section, this leading 6. Rich Sebi just about managing to hang on to the back of this group as they pull 5 seconds on those cars battling it out for P7 right now. There are obviously 6 cars battling out for the lead. And currently 5, maybe 6 cars if J-Joe can get himself back in DRS battling it out for P7. Up to the hairpin then for the 5th time. Let's just jump on board with Freddie Rozelle then, see how much quicker he is with this wing wide open on the rear. Decides better of it this time round as they concertina up yet again. Both a tiny little bit out of shape, the cars, as they get down towards turn 8. And Freddie will try and make this move stick on the inside, and contact is made between Freddie And Sketchy Bull did Freddie turn in there. That might have been Freddie turning in rather than Sketchy Bull not giving room. Plenty of room left on the outside. And there was contact with another car as well. Let's just take a look at Angry Shadow. Has he got any damage? No, no damage for Angry Shadow. I think we've managed to get away with no damage there. So it's all change. Let's just have a quick check on the position change there. So Angry Shadow having a great start. Up 5 positions after the shenanigans at the start. But also making moves there. He was ready to pounce after the mistake from Freddie Rosell. It cost Major Castleman a couple of positions as well, because it was Alpines were in 1 and 3, of course, and Freddie Rosell in P2. Let's just have a quick check on Major Castleman's car then, because Major Castleman obviously contacted the back of... no, all intact there as well. All intact there as well. So that's okay. A little bit deep goes Angry Shadow. Oh, and Rich Sebi is going to find himself under some pressure here as well. He is going to have DRS to defend, but they are side by side. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Is Major Castleman making his way through? Does he make that stick? Yes, he does. So Rich Sebi relegated yet again back down to P6. Got some movement as well happening as off track. We see the Aston Martin of Moo Bouncy there. So City Val leading this chasing pack in the Mercedes, followed by Sharky, Moo Bouncy. Freddie Rosell loses his position there, but then gains it on Major Castleman. So got himself through. Maybe there is a little bit of damage on that car that we can't quite see. So the gap to the Williams in front, 7/10 now. They've been real close up until this point. They're still close enough for DRS, of course. And that would be Major Castleman probably getting a warning there. Seemed to go off track. Major Castleman not close enough. Used a lot of battery. He's now not deploying any battery at all. Fake Mano, that is. Sketchy Bull on 92% battery. So Sketchy Bull really in good shape here, as Fatweed is the first of our drivers to pick up a penalty for his interpretation of track limits. Oh, a little bit out of shape there, Fake Mano. Maybe these medium tyres are beginning to get a bit hot, the front tyres. Very careful round this section. Past Latifi corner. The Latifi wall. The wall of Latifis. And these front 6 are just beginning to get a little bit spread. They're a little bit further away from each other than they were 2 or 3 laps ago. Fake Mano trying to cling on to the back. Sketchy Bull with that battery advantage. Sketchy does peel across to the left-hand side of the track as they all follow in formation then. All still within that DRS train. Let's just check in with City of R and who he's got for company. So we might see Fatweed looking to make a move on the inside of Happy. Yes, he does. The Aston Martin of Moo Bouncy as well under threat here from Fatweed, as Fatweed does indeed get the move done into the session. Blackball has retired from the session. He's had enough. He's in the pits. He's dumped the car and he's had enough. Happy loses another position. No, Happy makes a move, in fact, on the Aston Martin of Bouncy. So gets himself up into P10. We do point scoring all the way down to 12 here at Moose Racing League. Let's hope this V-Carb of Black Ball doesn't come back out on track and cause any shenanigans. The gap between City of R and that leading group now is 5.6 seconds. So that hasn't really grown over the course of the last couple of laps. It's KDM and Mr. Titan getting into it. As Moo Bouncy is the next driver to pick up a penalty. So KDM and Mr. Titan then, they're way off the back, of course. Move Bouncy's had enough of these tyres. He's going to get rid, throw the hard tyres on and try and go to the end of this race. Pretty quick pit stop that. For Move Bouncy. Shame it doesn't have the time, actually, of the pit stop. That would have been nice. Back out up top, though. It's Major Castleman making a move on Angry Shadow to get himself back up into P3. Fake Mano has dropped off the back of Sketchy Bull. 1.3 seconds. So Major Castleman now, he'll be eyes wide open on the chase to try and make this an Alpine 1-2. So now the chasing pack behind Fake Mano. Oh, Major Castleman picks up 3 seconds. Easy place for that to happen as you come out through Latifi corner. Or past the Latifi wall. Call it what you will. Fake Mano's losing time all the time, though. 22% battery. Sketchy still with a full battery look. Absolute imperious drive so far from the Alpine man. Out in front. That following group, City of R heads that up, of course, and he is going to come under pressure shortly because those medium tyres will start to go off, and Sharky and Fatweed, even with a penalty Fatweed, will have a little look on the inside at the hairpin, but decides better of it, saving his juice for the DRS zone. Let's jump on board with Fatweed, actually. Fatweed's got the run on Sharky as well here. He will get up the inside. He might get up the inside of both of them with the late braking. He does. Does he leave enough room? Oh, a little bit of a test. That means Sharky's going to get through as well. So they'll both pick up DRS again. So it's positions as you were. Now, you're on a straight, gentlemen. Be careful. Fatweed has to lift. Does try and go around the outside, though. Incredible defensive line that was from City of R, and Fatweed had nowhere to go because Sharky was on his outside. So good patience shown by the McLaren of Fatweed there. It was almost a little like a parking lot. Sharky will definitely have picked up his first or second one, and it wasn't the third one, of course, because there's no penalty. Look at the gap out in front, though. 2.8 seconds between Freddie Rozelle and Sketchy Bull. Fake Mano back in P4 now. And Major Castleman has had himself a problem. Major Castleman, the championship leader, down in P6. So he's had a problem somewhere that we missed. I didn't see any yellow flags waving. Got himself a bit of a problem. Bouncy gets past Happy as Happy's in that pit lane. Lap 11 of 29 then. Here at Abu Dhabi. Fatweed again. Oh, heavy on the brakes there for the McLaren. And an out-of-shape Mercedes in the form of City of R. City of R might get the move done here on the Ferrari of Sharky. We saw plenty of drivers trying to take this line earlier on today in the IRL race, and that's a full safety car. That is a full safety car. What's happened? Oh, Rich Sebi, that's what's happened. Fatweed gets 10 seconds. He's tried to dip up the inside, has he? No, he overtook. When the cars were going into the pit lane, he's overtaken. As the cars have gone into the pit lane, you have to wait until they're fully past the line, Fatweed, before you go and make your move. And a whole host of cars dive into the pit lane then to make things happen in terms of strategy. Well, Fatweed's picked himself up a penalty. Mr. Titan picks up some penalty as well. So it's 13 seconds now for Fatweed, 3 for Major Castleman, 3 for Bouncy, 3 for KDM, and 3 for Mr. Titan. I hope you're all having a really good Sunday evening, everybody. This is Moose Racing League Tier 2. We are at round number 8 around Abu Dhabi. Fatweed showing his frustration in that McLaren behind the first real safety car we've had of the evening. We did, of course, have a virtual safety car on lap number 1. And I'm going to take an opportunity to get a drink. I'll be back with you shortly. Yeah, so lap 12 of 29 then, not quite yet half race distance with our first real safety car of the evening. Let's just take a quick look at the tyre strategies now. Fatweed, the only car not to pit on 12 lap old hard tyres, will be a bit of a blocker. Sketchy Bull will show some pace on that softer compound medium tyre. It's fresh rubber for the Alpine. Then, of course, it's Freddie Rozelle in the Red Bull, followed by Angry Shadow, Fake Mano in the V-Carb, Major Castleman in the Alpine, Sharky in the Ferrari, then the Mercedes of City of R. Sharky, the other driver, in that top 7 on the medium softer compound tyre. City of R in the Mercedes, then Moo Bouncy in the Aston Martin in P9. P10, it's Happy Like Pies in the Kick Sauber, with Rich Sebi all the way down now in P11 after that incident which caused this safety car. I don't know who he got into it with or whether he lost it on his own, but still, he did have to have that wing replaced and has lost multiple positions. JHO and KDM, the two Haas, flying in formation in P12 and 13. Then P14, it's Mr. Titan, and the two guys who have DNF so far, it's Black Baller, who retired in the pit lane, and Gwenfro, who was hit on lap 1 and had to trudge back to pit lane. I do like to stay on board with the guy in P2 on these safety car restarts, especially when they're on fresher, softer rubber. Sketchy Bull in the Alpine is. He'll be looking to chase down Fatweed. Fatweed and Sketchy Bull have been in this league a very, very long time. It'll be interesting to see how they both tackle this safety car restart. When will Fatweed go? Will he go before the penultimate corner? Or will he go at the final corner? Big question. And he goes before penultimate corner. Of course, you can't pass until you pass the timing line, and we might see a good run here from the Alpine down to turn 1. He won't make the move down to turn 1, I'm sure. It is. Oh, he gets very close to the rear of Fatweed though. Through turn 1 on the exit, through turns 2 and 3 we go. And we might see the better grip on these medium tyres. He might try and make a move around the outside at the hairpin. Much more grip on those fresh medium tyres. And Freddie Rozelle gets through as well. So Fatweed loses 2 positions there at turn number 4 as they head down towards, turn number 5 as they head down towards 6 and 7. No DRS activated just yet, of course. We're on the first lap after the safety car restarts. There will be no DRS in Zone 1 or indeed Zone 2, which is what they're at now. So this is all about frontline speed. Then it's all about grip. Can these guys on fresh tyres... Fatweed seems to be struggling quite a lot on these tyres. As we're going to see side-by-side action or into hotel section. There'll be Fake Man and Angry Shadow exchanging positions 4 and 5. Major Castleman now getting past Angry Shadow as well in the Alpine. As you can see, DRS is enabled then. The 15th lap of our 29-lap race. Half race distance approaching then as we get towards Sector 2. And the gap already, 14-lap-old tyres, is causing a 1.9-second gap. So Freddie Rozelle and Sketchy Bull out in front will be able to streak away. Fatweed will come under some severe pressure from Fake Mano. I would imagine he'll get the job done all the way down into the chicane. And Freddie Rozelle looking to make a move as well on the inside. As he backs out. And Major Castleman and Fake Mano get past Fatweed. And Angry Shadow battling his way through. We've got yellow flags waving. It's a yellow flag waving. Looks like Bouncy. Bouncy getting caught up in the Aston Martin. Dropping a few more positions now. And he doesn't have DRS. So he's going to drop all the way to the rear. Whilst out in front, there's a 2-second gap between Major Castleman and Sketchy Bull. Sketchy Bull on the chase then, on those fresher, softer compound tyres. There's Angry Shadow and Fatweed. Fatweed really struggling on these older hard compound tyres. Before the end of the first lap, really. Second lap, sorry. He's gone from P1 all the way back down to P6 now as Rich Sebi picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. 12 of you guys in right now. I hope you're having a great night. City of R gets past Fatweed as well now, down to P7. It looks like a strategic blunder as KDM calls it a day in the pits, as does Moo Bouncy as well. They've both called it a day. We're down to 12 drivers. Everybody gets a point. It's an Oprah race, ladies and gentlemen. You get a point. 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 Everybody gets a point. Freddie Rozelle takes the lead of the race, though. He took the lead of the race on the previous lap. And Sketchy chose not to make the pass. Will he choose to make the pass now? Feel like he might be a little bit too far back to make the move. We saw plenty of that between George Russell and I think it was Pierre Gasly earlier on today. These two haven't raced away too much further then. Major Castleman has managed to reduce that gap. You make a lot of time up in these turns here. So he's managed to get that down from 2 seconds to 1.7. No, it has increased up to 1.8. Fake Mano and Major Castleman battling it out for this final podium position as it currently stands. Fake Mano, another one of our drivers who's not had a great deal of luck this season. Will be looking to really build on this good start that he's had to the race. Sebi and Fatweed. Fatweed plummeting down the order. Down into P8, and he's going to come under pressure probably from a kick-souter and a Ferrari on this long run. Although he will have DRS to defend with. Probably not quite enough to get himself up and past the Red Bull of Rich Sebi. But Happy Like Pies does get past Sharky. And here we see Freddie Rozelle getting that move done on Sketchy Bull. These two guys will probably just work together and look to have a final lap shootout. As long as they can maintain the gap back to Fake Mano and Major Castleman. 1.6 seconds that gap now. 1.5. Oh, a big snap of oversteer for Sketchy Bull. Manages to save it though. Sharky's the next driver to pick up a penalty going through Castle. Hotel, beg your pardon. We're not at Baku, remember? We're not at Baku. Who's your money on then so far? Who's your money on for this race? Sketchy Bull looks in good shape, but will those medium tyres go all the way to the end for the Alpine man? Will Freddie Rozelle, Fake Mano, Major Castleman, will they be the cars to watch out for with the hard tyre? BT Andy says Freddie easy. Do you think that's because of the tyre compound, Andy? Do you think it's because Sketchy's mediums won't go the distance. Let's just have a quick check-in with Angry Shadow. Angry Shadow looks like he might be getting ready to make a move here. Plenty of battery left. Catching the back of the Mercedes of City of Art very quickly. And he'll pass him. Will he? No. Looking to perhaps get a switcheroo done. No. Too much grip from the Mercedes. Keeps him out in front. .7 seconds the gap then between City of Art and Fake Mano. Fake Mano clinging nicely onto the back of Major Castleman, the championship leader. He will, of course, have in mind that Major Castleman does have that 3-second penalty, so it'll be about being careful, as he says, as he gets a little snap going on the exit of turn 1. Down towards the hairpin at turn 5. The gap now 1.4 seconds between Major Castleman. Angry Shadow making a move on City of R in a place I didn't expect it to be, but of course he will lose DRS now. That gap is 3.4 seconds. A major, maybe City of R had himself a mistake. And he will stay behind to get DRS on the next junction. That's a horrible camera angle. Oh, that's a horrible camera angle. Fake Mano and Major Castleman exchange positions as Sketchy Bull and Freddie Rizal also do. Yeah, the mediums ain't going to do it for him. The hard's way better in this amount of laps. With another safety car, anything can happen. It can indeed. It can indeed. And it'll be up to the car in front to determine what people do, I would imagine. We've got 11 laps of racing left then. Nearly 10. As they come around this final section. And they have managed to catch the guys here. 1.1 seconds now. They're almost back in DRS range. Which will make it a 4-way DRS train. Which will be fantastic for Fake Mano. Angry Shadow and City of R still battling it out for P5. As J-Joe picks up a warning. A penalty, beg your pardon, in P12. For multiple warnings. He's had the black and white flag waved heavily and has picked up that 3 seconds. And there we go. It is a 4-way DRS train at the front. So a bit of a lonely race for Rich Sebi at the minute. He's trying to get himself onto the back of Angry Shadow of City of R, who are tussling it out for that P5 that we talked about a little bit earlier on. City of R gets the job done down to the chicane, but I would expect that Angry Shadow will be looking to try and make the move back again if he gets a good drive out of the chicane. Those guys now 5 seconds off the back. I don't think he's going to make a move here. He's a little bit too far back. No desperate lunge. Just takes a much tighter line on the inside yet again, as we saw on the last exchange between the two through there. Oh, Angry Shadow. That'll be a warning for the Williams man for sure. He's going to have to be very, very careful if he's going to claim P5 tonight in this race. Major Castleman then has done all the hard yards. He's done the hard work. The championship leader all over the rear of his teammate. Down towards this hairpin. I'm led to believe the Alpines are free to race tonight. As actually, what we see is Sketchy Bull moving across to the left to let his teammate through. Now, does the Alpine of Major Castleman have the pace down this straight to get the move done? If he's going to be late on the brakes on the inside, no, he's going to leave it for the next lap. City of R and Angry Shadow yet again exchanging positions into that long left-hander. Sharky and Happy Like Pie is doing the same. Fatweed now. They've got Fatweed for company in the McLaren. He's still on these hard tyres. He's probably praying for a safety car. Or is he going to just bite the bullet and make the stop right now? He may as well bite the bullet and make the stop right now because that's 3 seconds. He will, if he throws a set of softs on, he'll be able to dip himself in and get a fastest lap perhaps. For the 22nd time, then, it is our front four tussling it out for this race win. Mr. Castleman hits the front for the first time this evening. Angry Shadow and City of R maintain their tussle, maintain their battle, as do Happy Like Pies and Sharky. As Freddie Rizal now takes up the lead of the race. Multiple race lead changes here at Abu Dhabi in round number 8 of Moose Racing League's Tier 2. 10-round championship, Major Castleman the championship leader. Mintoki in second, not racing. Let's just check to see what the battery situation is. Freddie with 80 odd, Major Castleman 60. 94 for Sketchy. Fake Mano in the 60s. Just utilising a little bit of battery on the exit of the final corner there to stay in touch with this front three. And he's doing a fantastic job, the V-Card man. The V-Card Mano. Major Castleman is looking pretty racy. Pretty racy, pretty pacey. And he's going to be very, very close. So I would imagine he'll probably make the move. We got a great look from the rear wing here. Now it'll be Freddie with the advantage of the wing. Wrong way. The Sketchy and Fake Mano close in. Fake Mano looking like he might try and get the move done here on Sketchy Bull as well. But Sketchy just about maintains P3. So if Major Castleman wants to get this race won, he will have to get past Freddie Rizal and gap by 3 seconds. That feels like a pretty tall order, the pace that Freddie is currently showing. Same tyre, same age tyre. Freddie Rizal obviously is a championship contender. A Sketchy Bull has dropped out of DRS. So Sketchy Bull will come under pressure from Fake Mano. Fake Mano, this is your chance. There goes the V-Carb. Can they, between them, haul in Major Castleman and Freddie Rizal at the front? Angry Shadow and City of R still battling it out. 6.3 seconds off this fight for the win. They've got a personal one-on-one. Oh, this looks like a late dive down the middle. Contact between the Alpine and the Red Bull there. So Major Castleman then, this may be the point that he's decided to get the pedal to the metal. Bad camera work from me. It's going to be very difficult for Freddie Rizal, for Major Castleman to break this DRS train, DRS back to Freddie. It's 4/10 at the minute, but of course there's just not enough time in this first sector before the hairpin and getting yourself over a second down the road. I know Fake Mano is obviously struggling to stay onto the back of Freddie Rizal. That's because he's battling at the moment with Sketchy Bull, but Sketchy Bull does seem to have dropped off the back of Fake Mano as well. Does make a lot of time back up actually on the hairpin. I don't know whether they're communicating with each other there. with their wiggles. That gap back to Sketchy, 2.5 seconds. So it is, at present, it's a two-way tussle, certainly for the top two steps on the podium. Sketchy and Fake Mano can get themselves back into the mix. We do have yellow flags. That's J-Joe. J-Joe's gone round at the hairpin. He's going to come under pressure from Fatweed very, very shortly. But out in front, it's the Red Bull of Freddie Rozelle then. Looks like he's going to claim this race win. Major Castleman with a 3-second penalty all over the rear of him. But Sketchy Bull on the on the same age, but softer tyres now not got the grip and will come under pressure from Fake Mano in the Alpine. City of R and Angry Shadow have actually closed up a little bit of time on these two by a second and a half. And they look like they're gaining consistently, actually. Possibly a little bit too late for them. A little bit like it was too late for Lewis Hamilton to catch and get a place on the podium this afternoon. But what a drive from the 7-time world champion. Major Castleman takes the lead of the race. And Fatweed picks up another penalty. Fake Mano up into P3. Trying to drag Sketchy along. And Angry Shadow making the move on City of R. That's the umpteenth lap that those two guys have swapped positions on that particular DRS zone. So no doubt they'll do it again on this DRS zone, as will Freddie and Major Castleman then down towards the turn. Or will Major Castleman? Yeah, Major Castleman does indeed take that turn. And actually, Major Castleman at the minute, because of the drive that he's putting in, is over 3 seconds in front of Fake Mano, so will retain P2. Yeah, it looks like Freddie's got this one in the bag. No need for commentators' cursors right now, though, Andy, I don't think. The only thing that stops Freddie from winning this race is Major Castleman breaking that DRS train right now. Like, he would have to do it this lap to get himself 3 seconds out in front. Or a mistake where Freddie gets all out of shape. Lap 27 to 29 then. Fake Mano in P3, battling it out with Sketchy Bull. Sketchy Bull loses. He does have DRS. He does have DRS, so he will be able to close back in again. And he's got a lot more battery than Fake Mano as well. A little bit out of shape there goes Freddie. Was that the mistake that we thought we were going to get? That's the question. Down the inside. Later on the brakes is the Alpine, though. On the outside. Both riding that curb. Couldn't have crossed the green, do they? No, but out to the curb again on the right and then left. So the intriguing battle for the win looks like it's pretty much nailed on then as we start the penultimate lap here at Abu Dhabi. The other intriguing battle we've got is Fake Mano and Sketchy Bull for P3. And then Angry Shadow, City of R for P4. Everything else seems pretty much set in stone. You wouldn't imagine now. It'd have to be a huge mistake from Freddie to prevent him from winning this race now. He does have DRS. He's going to be getting very close to the rear. Probably won't make a move before the chicane. He'll have a little look on the inside, but then make do with getting the move done down the second DRS zone all the way down to the long, long left-hander. And he might not even get the move done. He might just stay behind. He'll want to win it on track, I would have thought, Freddie. Fake Mano and Sketchy, that'll be an interesting tussle. Sketchy doing a real good job on these softer tyres with less grip. Nightmare. We're on the final lap then, folks. Lap 29 of 29. Freddie Rozelle looking to stick to the back, is he? He's going to make a move on the inside of Major Castleman down towards the chicane then for the final time. Major Castleman very close to the rear. They'll both want to win this on track, no matter the penalty. We're going to see a move around the outside from Major Castleman. They're side by side. This is where it could get hairy. Freddie Rozelle does have a little look on the inside as they go through into Hotel. Yellow flags in Sector 3. And that's Rich Sebi getting past Angry Shadow and City of R. So those two have come together. Across the line goes Major Castleman, but it'll be Freddie Rozelle that claims the win on track. Fake Mano will be pipped at the post and finishes off the podium. Fake Mano finishing in P4 then. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but Angry Shadow does get... They both get past Rich Sebi. So Angry Shadow P5, City of R P6, Rich Sebi P7, P8 will be Happy Like Pies, 9 Sharky, 10 Titan, 11th will be Fat Weed. Titan actually crosses and goes 9th because Sharky's penalties. Fat Weed will finish in P11 and J-Joe will be the final runner and finish in P12. But it'll be Freddie Rozelle that takes this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix round number 8. What on earth was happening then with these things? Good Lord, they've all run into each other. That's hilarious. Good old EA. What are they doing? What's going on? Yeah, Rich, what happened, mate? Because you got past both of those guys pretty quickly. Did they come together? There we see, standing on the top step of the podium, it is Freddie Rozelle in the Red Bull, taking tonight's race win. Getting ready to shake that champagne with his two Alpines of Major Castleman and Sketchy Bull. That is your top 3 tonight in Tier 2. Tier number 1 will be starting very shortly. Before we get there, let's run through that final classification if we can. Freddie Rozelle confirmed as your race winner there in the Red Bull. Major Castleman finishing in P2. The championship leader, Sketchy Bull, in P3. P4, a great race from Fake Mano. Unfortunately, not to finish on the podium, I feel. Angry Shadow, P5. P6 is City of R. P7, Rich Sebi. P8 is Happy Like Pies, flying in formation with his teammate, Mr. Titan, in the Kick Sauber in P9. P10, Sharky. P11, Fat Weed. P12, J-Joe. And then DNFing tonight, it was KDM, Moo Bouncy, Black Baller, and Gwenfro. There you go then, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just have a quick look at the driver standards then to see how that may well have impacted things. Major Castleman in P2 picks another 18 points. That'll put him up onto 21. I didn't see who got fastest lap, actually. Mintoki didn't race. Sketchy Bull, P3. That's another 15 points for Sketchy Bull, taking them onto 92 now. Freddie Rozelle, though, the win, the big race win. At least 25 points for him, taking him onto 102. Gwenfro, unfortunate not to finish. And then Fake Mano there in P8, currently in the standings on 38 points. He'll get a handsome number of points to take him up to 50 and move above Packets in the standings. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me in Tier 2 tonight. Make sure you head over to Tier number 1 now, where the Quick Boys will be at it. That'll be our last race of the evening here at Moose Racing League as they tackle Abu Dhabi as well in Tier 1 in Round 8. And let's see who can win the championship, who can stick it on pole, and will they get into the 21s? Will the Quick Boys get into the 21s? Who knows? Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. You take care. Have a great one. Go and catch Punju and D-Master OG. They will be running Tier 1 for you tonight. Take care. Have fun. Mwah. Much love, as always, for tuning in. You are the GOATs, and I am absolutely privileged to bring you Tier 2. Good night, everybody. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.